Inshallah and Ashe, blessings to you, my energetic beings. It is I, once again, Tonya D, holistic Sha'medium and subtle energetic surgeon, merging the indigenous technologies with the subtle energetic fields, pathway centers, and so much more. But there is something otherworldly happening once again, or always. And welcome to Meet Me for Coffee. I have brought to the stage once again my good friend, Mary Shurtleff. And we are going to muse about the year of the tiger, the energy of it, and all the places in between. So with that, welcome, Mary.
Thank you, Tonya. I'm excited to be here with this new year coming on us and just hopefully new energy. Great things maybe will happen next year.
So what do you see in the forecast? I know it's the year of the tiger and it's a water tiger year. Is that correct?
It is. The water tiger is actually the least dangerous of all the tigers. So that's a good start. He's more intuitive and he's more thoughtful. And so with that said, we have 2 water tigers this year in the Pachi chart, but we also have 1 wood tiger. Now the wood tiger is a little more ADD. They're multitaskers. Their attention span's real short. They're quick to act. So this next year with 3 tigers, the behavior of the tiger is to not pack together. They're more of a solitude animal. So with all 3 tigers, we're going to see a jockeying of position, territory, authority. And so that should be fun. So I'm going to caution people right now about jockeying for position. Take a breath, count to 10, and meditate on the question if you don't have an answer, because a lot of times if you're going to strike quick this year, it could be a fatal blow to relationships, to job offers, whatever. So really watch your words and actions this year because the tiger is quick to react. So that in itself could affect country leadership, government, and people. It could be political bases. It could be marriages. It could be business and employer-employees. So children, parents. So everybody this year needs to really protect their relationships. But with that said, this will be a year that a lot of relationships may change and end because people will just say, I'm done with it. We might see a lot of people striking out on their own. We saw it last year into their own businesses or into their own spaces of employment, where people started just doing things from their homes and deliveries or writings or paintings or whatever. We saw that last year, but we're going to see a lot more of it this year. And so I really, really just want to caution people about being too independent this year because that aspect's there. And I do worry this year. Last year, they were worried about the war with COVID and stuff. This year, I actually worry about conflicts between China, Russia, and the United States because they're the main 3 tigers, king of the land, so to speak. And so that could cause a real conflict there if they're not careful. And not getting into politics a lot, but Mitt Romney warned of Russia in his run for presidency. What was that in 2016? No, 2012. And he warned of Russia. And so next year could be a real political jockeying. And Russia and China are both on the Loshu Square as very, very powerful. And the United States is more into a place of, what is the word I'm looking for? Legal negotiations, that type of thing. So anyway, that should be interesting to watch. And then in the elements, we're mostly water and wood. And so again, water, it can be the abyss. It can be very deep and dark and dangerous, or it can be very light and refreshing. This year, though, is yang water, heavy water. So we really have to be careful of not drowning ourselves, so to speak, getting caught up in things that we're in over our heads, so to speak, metaphorically. The wood energy again is ADD. So people are going to feel that tendency just to randomly bounce around from thing to thing, and there might not be that stability. However, the good news is in the day pillar, there is an earth, a strong earth, young earth presence. So that will help us to ground. But this year, there's also a shortage of fire. So that's creativity, passions. We might see apathy. We might see people, because of the wood energy, going places without goals. And so the fire helps to kind of burn underneath the wings to keep that going. What'll happen is with no fire energy, it's almost like there's nowhere to go. So with that said, wear reds when dealing with business, but also just add like light, warmth, things of red, geometric shapes to your home to kind of increase that if you don't already have it in it. We're also low on metal. However, because we live in such an AI world, I don't worry about a lack of metal because we're always on cell phones, computers. But the advice is to wear jewelry. Your jewelry's fabulous, Tonya. That's very metal-y going into the new year because we are low. Now, metal is logic and discipline. So with no logic or discipline this year, with that wood going out of control and the water out of control, could be a little dicey. So this year, I think we're going to see where we're literally shaking up the jar and we're pouring it out and just seeing where it flies to. And that could be a good thing, because it's time that we really do get a shakeup where people land and figure out what they're going to do with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if somebody, because there's so much wood and water elementally, somebody who has a constitution that's high in fire, are they going to be okay, or high in earth, or
right?
What other elemental beings like to balance out those threads?
Yeah, if there's a lot of wood, if in your chart, your 4-pillar chart, which is a whole nother program, but the 4-pillar chart, if you're high on fire energy, then you will balance that out. It will balance out. If you're high on earth, it will also balance it out, or high on metal. Those people who are already high on water and wood, myself, we're going to feel more just kind of like we're out there in the wind. Wood is wind and water, and that's feng shui, of course. And so it's about fresh air and fresh water this next year, which is going to clear the brain. And then the tigers are going to make it so that people are starting to become more independent, so to speak. So those people with the high wind and water are going to have to ground, and they're going to have something tied on their ankle, either stones in their pockets or an earth person with them. Somebody that's very grounded that can literally hold them down from rushing from project to project. Like right now, I already have gotten myself into some binds for next year because I have too many projects going on. It's like, whoa, what just happened here? Because it all hit me all at once. And then I realized the new year, actually, the year of the tiger actually starts its influences around December 21st. And all of this has just happened this week. So, and today's Tuesday. So I'm really trying to get my ducks in a row so that I can get grounded to get all these things done in the time that they need done. The other thing too, if you have tiger in your chart, which I do, I have tiger in my emotions. It is very quick to strike. So this year I have really got to watch my words. On a good day, I open my mouth, insert foot, and make people angry. So this year I have to really, really super be careful of that. Anybody with tiger in their chart, because we already have 3, so now I have 4. And anybody else, I had a client yesterday that I did that has 2 tigers. So they've got 5 going on. And it's like, oh my gosh, people are just going to have to realize slow and easy this next year. Just take it, don't knee jerk, don't take things personal. Stay in your own lane, just stay in your own lane and let whatever they want to do it. clear out your own paths. And the next year actually looks great. 2023 looks fabulous. But 2022, if the numerology is 6, so it's about balancing things. So you're going to have the good with the bad, the best and the worst. And that brings us back to the low shoe square. This year, the flying stars meet up with the original order of the universe. So this year, we're going to see the original order of the universe restored. But we're going to have the best of times and the worst of times sometimes because of that. And the areas that are most worrisome this year is the center, because the 5 flies to the center. So in the center of the home, put your saltwater cure, of course, that we always talk about. And then the west has a 7, which is bankruptcies, lawsuits, the con man. That's in the west. So put your blue water detergent in that one. And then in the east, we have the 3 of conflict, which when it lines up with those other ones, the 3, 5, and 7, it can become pretty conflictive, contentious. And it's also in the family sector. So this year in the family sector, put a red Buddha, something, a mandala, a red mandala, red carpets, something like that to really burn off that agitation of the wood energy that's in there. And then the number 2 goes into the southwest, which is women and the monkey, and then also the sheep. And so in the southwest, again, you want to be sure that you keep that place quiet, put the wooloos, or you can also put salt water in there because it's an earth star and the salt will dissipate some of the earth. You can also put metal in there because metal will also make some of the earth not quite as heavy. And the best part of the house then is the south, which is the 9, which is opportunity, expansion, promotion. And then the north is the number 1, which is new beginnings, career opportunities, again, things that will start new things all over again. The 4 then flies to the southeast, which is communication and love and relationships. And then the 6 is also then, we have a 4, 5, 6 going from the southeast to the northwest this year, which is also a pearl string. So that's a good direction to southeast to northwest. The northwest has the 6. So this year could be interesting year. It's really hard to predict it. I always go in and try to do my meditation to see what the energy is. And interestingly enough, so far this year, I've just seen the tigers coming out of the cages. And so it's never been clear, but I can't control my meditations and my visions. So I'm hoping that by the time I get ready to do my video on the new year, that my meditation will come through. And I'm not sure what that means, that I can't get that meditation. It's like, it's always come easily. And this year it's just showing cages opening. And so I feel like, does that mean the country's opening up? Does that mean people are opening up? People are escaping? What's that mean? So I'm still working on that one. That one's still not clear to me.
Curious. I can see how the metal energy, like you said, there's so much already with computers and phones that we don't need so much of it as other elementals. But isn't the wood also like herbs and essential oils kind of
yes
trees?
Yes, the wood energy is wood. Number 1, it's like trees, grass, flowers, blooms in your clothes. But it's also herbs, plant essentials, anything like that becomes a wood energy. And those are going to be very, very instrumental this year in keeping the body balanced, from the stress levels. Also, I'm glad you brought that up because metal then is also vitamins and minerals. So since this is a really low year on metal, those without that metal in their chart normally, like I'm really low on metal. Mine's only 2.5 on a good day. So I really have to take vitamins. And when I don't, I notice that difference. And so this year, everybody needs to take, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, I'm not prescribing, but vitamins are going to be essential this year to help the body balance better. And then the fire energy, again, that fire energy is mainly warmth and lighting. And right now we're going into the inversion in Salt Lake. And so it's really important with the seasonal affect disorder that people get that sunlight, because there is not that fire in the chart this year. So people are going to have to get their sunlight, vitamin D from somewhere, and it's going to have to be that supplement because it's not universally around us this year.
So, what about the water? Are we going to have to do something to, I don't want to say dehydrate us, but with so much water, is there, how can we balance the water element?
You know what, the water, we need water. This is good. Last year, the metal in our cycle of feng shui is the dehydration. In our life cycle, we begin with water and we end with metal, and the body, as it gets older, dehydrates and then it turns to dust, so to speak. And so this year we're back into the water cycle. So we're into the baby cycle. So last year, that's why we didn't see universally so much water, was because the metal, even though it does produce water, it also is a dehydrating aspect of the life chart, so to speak. Anyway, so this year with the water, we possibly will see more flooding. We will see more like tsunamis or something like that. Weather things that has to do with water. What hurricanes? I was thinking, what is that other one? Hurricanes. And then tornadoes, because tornadoes are wind. We might see more wind this year. And so we want to kind of harness that water. The fire will help to steam the water, so it'll make it not so hard. But also wood and earth, that's where that earth becomes important. Wood absorbs water, but earth also absorbs water. So we do want to have more earth around us to help literally dam that water up. And so this year, I would tell people to make sure that you pack your stones, make sure that you meditate in an earth chair, like a big cozy chair. Weighted blankets are amazing for anxiety and earth energy. What else? Mainly just solid pieces of furniture, but also if you have earth friends, like people who are really grounded, kind of stocky, that type of person will give you that stability that you feel like you need. And it'll help that water to kind of be directed. The earth will direct the water instead of just going everywhere. But this year we probably will see more weather with air problems, wind problems and water problems, more so than last year. But the good news is there might not be as much fire this year, the wildfires this year, hopefully. But then the trend also could be that everything's still dry, but hopefully it'll be okay. And mudslides, because of the water and mudslides.
Interesting. So what area of the home did you say was the center? It sounds like is the most conflicted area.
Yeah. Make sure in the center that you put the salt water adjustment in there. And it's just basically salt and water, equal parts of salt and water. And then just throw a little bit of metal in there to cause that crystallized reaction. And you want to leave it open so that it's absorbing energy. And the way that you can tell if it's absorbing energy, people think it's dog and pony show, but you can tell if the house is negative, because it will start collecting that negative energy and it'll turn brown and yellow and green and just gross. And people are like, what do I do with it? Throw it in the garbage, get rid of it, make a new one. But I tell people, get vases, like flower shop vases for some of these, because it's big water. Some of this year is big water, big earth, and big negativity. And sometimes I'll walk in a home and they'll have little tiny bowls of water like this big. And It's like, no, this isn't going to cut it. You're going to have to go big, think big, because this energy is big. It's got a big aura to it. And so we need to counterbalance that.
So
But yeah, the center of the home this year, because everything vortexes around it, we need that solid. And you can also put like solid, like furniture in the center that's, or not furniture, metal, like metal furniture in the center, or metal statues that also are heavy, that like bronze statues, or I actually have a set of cranes that I'm setting in the middle of the home this year. Last year I had it in the north because that was some bad energy and my front door faces north. But this year I'm going to pull them to the center because the crane symbolizes long life. So I'm going to pull those to the center. But anything that will cut that heavy earth energy, the saltwater, metal, something like that. So just stabilize that.
And then what area of the house did you say not to do like remodeling in?
The remodeling this year is the west, the southwest, and then our 3 killings this year. The northeast, because that is the tiger, which is the Tai Sui. And then the 3 killings. I forgot where the 3 killings are.
They're in the east.
Let's see, where were they last year? They were in they go backwards. The north. Yeah, they were in the east last year. They were in the east last year and they come back. So they're in the north this year. So the 3 killings do not renovate in the north or noise in the north this year as well.
So I know we're in the final stages of period 8 in the Chinese methodology, the cosmology. So what should we do to prepare for period 9 that's coming into the future?
Okay, the period 9 starts in 2024 at the Chinese New Year, of course, and it goes to 2044. And so if you're building a house or doing renovations, I would start looking at the flying stars from period 8 and period 9 both. I wouldn't just put all my energy into that period 8 because in 2 years it's going to be obsolete. In period 9, the best directions are southeast, center of the home, and northwest. And those numbers are 8, 9, and 1, which again is that parent's dream home. So a southeast facing home is going to be ideal, or a northwest facing home is going to be ideal in that for anybody that's building. And then the directions to avoid in that one is east to west, because east to west, you're going to have that, it's going to be a 7, 9, and 2 in that bagua. And so that's going to accentuate that energy. And the 7 again is bankruptcy, conflict, legal problems, burglary. The 9 is the expansion number, which gives energy to other numbers. And the number 2 is illness. So I would avoid a home being built east to west, or even buying a home east to west at that point. And people wonder about the period changes. How can you change a house that's built in period 8 to a period 9? A lot of times you can just change out the front door, or change the windows, or do a remodel of some kind. Well, actually, I've noticed in doing feng shui, they always said you got to take the roof off. I don't quite agree with that, because when new people come in and bring that energy and put in new carpeting and new paint and possibly upgrade appliances or tear down cupboards and put up new cupboards, you can feel that it's just shifted from a 60s feel to a 2000 feel. And so there's a lot of things that you can do to shift that on your own that doesn't require taking your roof off, because the energy of each person in the home will determine what is in that home. It does have ghosts of the past in it, but that's why we clear, and that's why we do a lot of things that we do. And I lived in my house in Draper, had 3 or 4 bankruptcies in it, and it had divorce in it. And when my husband and I were there, gratefully, we didn't have the bankruptcy, but we did go through a divorce. And when I moved back into that house, I did some serious remodel on it. and cleaning it up. And the couple that bought it from us now, they've had new babies and, they're doing well in it, as far as I know, knock on wood. So, there's just a lot of things that we can do, but that period 9 is going to be very instrumental in building or remodeling, because when those flying stars come back in, the whole low shoe square has shifted again. So period 9, we're going to see that shift one more time, because that again is that expansion number. That number 9 is expansion number that gives power to other numbers. So that's going to be big for that 20 years. And people need to really be aware of that.
So that the 9 is moving to the south, correct?
The 9 in period 9
will be in the center.
The 9 in period 9 moves to the center of the home as the Bagua square for period 9. So it would be like 9 in the center, and then the 1 will fly to the northwest, and then according to the seagull pattern.
Got it. Cool.
Makes sense. And I'll touch on it more, but I really want people who are moving right now and buying homes and just thinking about that to really be aware, because 2 years, as we know, isn't that long from now. So 2 years goes quickly.
Right.
So
absolutely. I was just thinking color, because I want to repaint my front door.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking of color, like right now it's black, but I wanted to do kind of a burgundy, a deeper burgundy. I would call it a Malbec if I was going to talk about a wine.
Okay. You know what? In the period 9, the number 4 is in the south. And so the 4 is wood, yin wood. So that's anything like yin wood is spiritual. So it could be purple, indigo, essence of Malbec, anything that has that little kind of that. If you do the Malbec, do kind of that purple hint to it. It's kind of purplish anyway, but that would work there, because wood outputs fire. So it would be an output element that would be okay. But I would keep it so that it's more, and for the red, I would keep it more purple toned, undertoned than, the red orange undertone.
The bright tones. Nice. So is there anything else you'd like to share with my audience about the year of the tiger?
Gosh, let me think. You know what? Let me just touch on a few of the animals, just so that maybe they can kind of prepare themselves. And also the Chinese New Year is coming up. There are things to do to prepare yourself for the new year. And that's one of the projects that I'm working on. I do have an ebook out there on my website that people are asking for hard copy. So I just thought I can just throw this into a hard copy. Well, I'm realizing now that I have to barcode it and Library Congress and all of this. So that's where I'm at. I'm trying to get my hard copy. But it is about preparations for the new year. So to start preparing, clean your house. Number 1, get rid of everything that you want. You have a week till, and celebrate all New Year's. Celebrate January 1st, and then the Chinese New Year this year is February 1st. So start cleaning your house. You've got time. Clean your house, get rid of everything that you don't want. Make 3 piles, throw away, donate, keep a maybe pile, 4 piles, I guess. And the maybe pile becomes that pile that I always want to caution people, don't throw away anything that you think you might want later, because I've done it. So put it in that maybe pile, and then really think about a place that you can put it to keep it until it does hit the other pile. So anyway, clean your house, go through your food closet and get rid of all expired food. We all have it. I don't care who you are. The other day I found a can of something that was 2018. It's like, really? So it's been here since I moved into my house, apparently. So go through all of your canned goods, go through your medications, just cold medicines or anything like that you might have. Get rid of everything that's expired. Pay all your bills. Go in, make sure all of your bills are current. Go out, buy yourself a new wallet. A new wallet means bringing in new money in the new year. And then with your old wallet, put $1 in it and donate it to like the DI or the Goodwill or something. And the reason you're putting $1 in it is because it's good karma. It's creating karma for yourself. And then on your computer, go through and really start getting rid of programs that just photos that you took 10 of the same thing. Just really make it fun. Take one closet at a time or one program at a time and get rid of things like that. And then just like I said, get your house in order for the new year so that you're starting out the new year right. And then on New Year's Day, make sure that you make your bed and clean your kitchen. Because every day you want to make a habit of making sure at night your kitchen is clean so that when you get up in the morning, it's cleaned and you start your day off totally visually clear. Otherwise, when you wake up in the morning and there's dirty dishes in the sink, you're tired. You're automatically tired because you have to do that before you even start, or you just go to work and then you come home to it. And also then make your bed, because we love motel rooms because we walk in and the bed is made. We love that. The room is clean. So make sure out of the whole house, the kitchen is clean and your bedroom is always clean. Shoes by a door. Get organizers to throw your shoes in. Instead of just kicking them off, put them in an organizer or a basket or something. It keeps them at least organized and out of the way. Coats. If you have extra coats this time of year, donate them to wherever. How many of us have thousands of coats laying around that we never wear? So donate them this year, coats, sweaters, things like that, because it was a tough year last year for many. So get rid of those. And then as you're going into the new year, celebrate the hope and the faith that the next year will be better. Eat hearty. Buy foods that you enjoy, just really feel good about the possibilities and the opportunities that are coming in. And in the book, I talk about all of this. But then next year, I want to hit on some animals. The rat has a number 1 of opportunities. So again, water in the north, because we're meeting up with the same Bagua or low shoe square. So water there, anything that promotes success, money, ships coming in, ingots, anything like that. And then I already said that in the Southwest, you want to put the Wooloo or a saltwater cure. In the East, we want to put red. And I'm going through the flying stars pattern here, the sigil pattern. And so in the East, you want to put something red. And in the Southeast, that's number 4 for relationships and love and romance. So go ahead and put your little love tokens there, pictures of the family or whatever. And you can also, this is also scholastic ability. So put anything there if you're wanting to go back to school or your school books, or like I'm writing, trying to get this book done. I will get this book done, not trying, I will get it done. Southeast, is where I'm going to work with that. And then from the Southeast, we go back to the middle, which is, again, the saltwater, heavy saltwater in that area with metal. And then the Northwest is the number 6 for power and authority. It's in the male. And so this one's a little concerning too, that number 6 being in the male with the 3 tigers. We could see a real jockey and a power male attitudes going on this year. So in that area, I'm going to not tell people to put things of power and authority, but to put things of religious deities in it. That reminds us to take the energy down, think, come from a spiritual place instead of an ego place. And then from there, we go up into the West, which is a number 7 this year. That is bankruptcy, legal stuff. It can be good or bad. It's not always bad. 7s are great numbers, but it can also, you get the yin and the yang of both. So there, do the blue detergent, which is just water, salt, and blue detergent. And then the Northeast has the 8 for money this year. So that's where you want to put the citrines, the coins, anything that symbolizes money. And then up to the South is the 9. So great lighting, reds, whatever. And then we're back to the North. But the other thing to do to honor the tigers this year, bring in a tiger into your home. And if you really want to get serious about it, bring in 3 tigers and make all 3 tigers your friend, is the belief. And then the other thing that the masters are saying is put a red ox with the tiger, because the ox is also bringing in the fire energy. The ox is also wish fulfilling, stable, solid. And so set it also with the tiger in the Northeast, because ox and tiger share the Northeast. So put those 2 together for prosperity, health, all of that, well-being coming to you. And this year, I think, like I said, we're going to see the best of times and the worst of times. But your mindset's going to determine how that outcome works for you. So with that said, I hope everybody has a happy new year and prosperous, and we'll see you back here next year in 2023. So
Perfect. So real quick question. Does 3 cats considered tigers?
interesting question. I was just reading a story about this yesterday, because I always considered the tiger a cat in the zodiac animal race. And they were saying that in some lore that the cat and the rat were friends, and the cat went to sleep, and the rat was supposed to wake him up for the great race, but being the sneaky, shady guy that the rat is, he went ahead and went to the race by himself and didn't wake up the cat. And the cat woke up, and he got there as the 13th animal of the zodiac. And that's why the cats hate the rats to this day. And then, of course, the tiger comes in to the zodiac as the 3rd animal. And so I guess they're not the same, but I always consider it the same, because one's domestic and one is not, and it's all the feline animals. So anyway, I'm not sure how to answer that question, but in my experience, I would say yes. So
Good to know.
it's just a tamer version of the bigger ones. And as I look at the Chinese pictures of the tigers, some of them look like kittens. So it's like, But yeah, I just read that lore yesterday. And then the other one was that the cat and the rat were sitting by the river, and they heard Buddha's call. And so the rat pushed the cat in and took off and ran to the call and made it as the first animal of the zodiac. So I don't know, but my answer would be yes. I believe cats, and I believe all the feline animals are connected, but the tiger does hunt alone. So maybe it would depend on that personality of the cat that you may have. Wish I had my 3 cats right now.
Yeah, right. So I got 3 running around.
Yeah, I love them. I love them
so much, Mary, for joining me for coffee. It's always a pleasure.
Well, thank you for having me. And, I wish you a happy new year. I wish you the best of everything to come.
You as well. So thanks for tuning in. I will have Mary's info in the show notes. She's written amazing books as well. And as always, I will see you on the other side. Blessings to you, and make it a juicy water tiger year.